Hi, my name is Rebecca. I am one of the co-founders of Food for Thought Afghanistan, and we are dealing with an emergency crisis situation that we need your help with. There are 60 Afghan human rights activists in Islamabad right now who are in grave danger. These are people who actually had stayed behind in Afghanistan and attempted to advocate for their rights, for the rights of their neighbors, for the rights of human beings, for the rights of women, for the rights of girls to get an education. And they were met with absolute brutality at the hands of the Taliban. Most of the people, the vast majority of this group of 60, have spent time in Taliban custody. All of them are dealing with serious physical and psychological injuries from their encounter with the Taliban. The problem we're dealing with is that the government of Pakistan has set a March 31st deadline for all Afghans to leave the country. And they are refusing to recognize any difference between why people are there. They are refusing to make allowances for people such as this group of 60 people. This obviously places them in extreme risk. Deportations are ongoing. 1,000 people were reportedly picked up last night, even though the expectation was that deportation efforts would decrease during Ramadan. Has not proved to be the case. So this is urgent. This is right now. Now, what you can do to help us is we have ongoing advocacy efforts going on trying to put pressure on the Pakistani government to at least make an allowance for this particular group of people. We have two petitions, one on change.org and one on Others for this group. Right now, those are at 500 or approaching 500 and approaching 400,000 signatures on that. That actually matters a great deal. I am in conversations all day long with people who are dealing with decision makers or are decision makers, and having that support from the public, from just everyday individuals all over the world, matters enormously. It's the only reason they're even talking to us. So it's very important if you can sign these petitions, share them in your socials, share them with your friends. You can put them everywhere. We got a wonderful picture from someone in Florence who put up flyers with the links all over on light post. It matters. It matters that we're showing up for this. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, we, just to show you how much what we individual people who are not the fancy people do matters, when the Western world was not willing to, take this issue on, we had a Brazilian citizen who stepped forward and said, my government has humanitarian visas for Afghan people. Let's see if we can help them. And so we are working with a resettlement agency inside Brazil. That is the first step of being able to get them to Brazil. We're working with an agency that will provide resettlement assistance for a year after they can get to Brazil. Once we're able to get that all arranged, the Brazilian government has agreed that they will expedite the processing of humanitarian visas for these individuals and their families as quickly as possible. So we really just need to buy some time. The other issue, of course, is that it does take money to physically move people, to provide legal assistance, to pay all of the paperwork fees, and then to provide for the resettlement when they arrive in Brazil. We have estimated that for these 60 individuals, we are, and their families, 360 people, it will take approximately $1.5 million to relocate them to Brazil. In the scheme of things, this is very little to save this many lives in particular. Currently, our fundraising efforts, we are at, last time I looked, 136,000 and some odd dollars. And that includes a very generous grant donation from Others towards this effort. But the majority of that is coming from just everyday people. Most of the donations we're getting are $5, $1, sometimes $10. We get the ones that are larger than that are unusual. because it is us, it is the people, and that matters so much. Again, we would not even be able to have a discussion. We would not even be able to go out and say, hey, we need help, we need resources, work with us here, if we did not have everyday people showing up. $1, $5, $10, $100. The largest donation aside from the grant has been $500. We were not this is a movement of everyday people, because the fancy people are not just going to show up and do the right thing as much as we would like them to. That's not real. It takes us showing up for each other. So here's what you can do. You can go to foodforthought.care/emergency fund. You will find links to both of the petitions there. And while you're there, you can also make a donation. You can share that page from there with your socials. You can also connect with us on social media. We are doing a lot of media this week. We're also amplifying the voices of these rights activists themselves, and we could really use your assistance in getting them even louder. We need the world to hear them. These are not ideas. These are real human beings, and these are real good human beings. We are working with them because they not only did they go through what they went through after standing up, they have continued their advocacy while in Islamabad, while dealing with the fallout of what they've experienced. These are the best of us. We cannot afford to keep allowing good human beings in human potential to just be destroyed by the worst of us while the world stands by and watches. And think about this. Think about what it does to the control that the Taliban has over people when they can point to this group of people and they can say, look what we did to them when they stood up, and nobody came to help them. In fact, they sent them right back into our arms. This is unacceptable, and we can change this. We can make a difference. We can fight back against a world that works like this. So I'm asking you, I am begging you, these are beautiful people who deserve us. We have to show up for each other. We have to. Go to foodforthought.care/emergency fund, sign the petitions, make a donation, send it to your friends, help us find other money. If you have resources, if you have connections, there's a link you can use to contact us, to volunteer. If you have an organization that would like to work with us, you can get in touch with us there, and somebody will be back to you very, very quickly. Thank you so much for listening to me. I wish all of you well. I wish all of us well. And I love you just because you're here. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.